Hello. So Stephanie actually has this random.
That's not random.
Well, it was on your hamper.
Yes, it was.
And I said to you, oh, where did you get this? Osho, Love Letters to Life.
Love Letters to Life. Yeah.
So I was introduced to Osho because my father is a groupie.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love this intro. My father is a groupie, so.
My father's a mystic groupie. He's always like, oh, Camillia. That's how he starts off, our Camillia. Oh, Camillia, do you not understand? Do you not know what a rebellious spirit Osho was? Speaking from the truth of his heart. What a man, Camillia, what a man. So, and my father's a mystic himself. So me and Stephanie, we didn't know what we were going to do today. What I really love about how we play is, besides having some structure, we leave everything very open. And so, for instance, I saw the Osho book, Love Letters to Life, and I said to Stephanie, hey, what do you think about we do a video on this just randomly? We had no preconceived ideas. We didn't know what we were going to do, and Stephanie is always on board for a wild adventure. You're a party girl.
Oh, I'm such a party girl.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, but that's what good girls do. Good girls always go to bed.
I
Me too. I think I go to bed at 7. So we're going to start off with, how about love?
Yes.
Number-
So are we going to take, let's do a random pick. I want you to flip through, and you tell me when to stop, and then we'll read that love letter. Okay.
I love
Ready?
love. Oh, just before you start,
Okay.
I used to make all my boyfriends write me love letters.
Oh.
Yeah, so I had a stack of love letters.
I did the same to my boyfriend.
And then?
And I don't know, I kind of stopped. But I love.
Do you still have your love letters?
I do, of course, like in a shoebox somewhere.
Some of them I got rid of. Still love the guys though.
Oh my
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Mm.
Okay, tell me when.
Nah.
Okay. Okay. You want me to read it? I'll read it. This is love letter number 100. Love. The remembrance of everyone stays with me. It does not come. If it were not always there, it would have to come back. And in coming, there would be pain, because in coming, going is also hidden. In remaining, there is bliss. Then there is no coming and no going. Perhaps you may not grasp this. I also would not have grasped it if someone had said it to me. There is so much which is simply not understood by trying to understand. On the contrary, it gets even more entangled. I am saying things as they are. I never remember anybody, and yet remembrance remains. It is like heartbeats. Whether I notice them or not, the heart goes on beating. Or like breath, whether I deliberately breathe or not, the breathing continues. Just so is my remembrance. This is why when someone asks, do you ever remember me or not? I am in trouble. I think, what should I say now? Yes is not right. No is also not right. That is why I laugh and become silent. But you have asked me in writing, not even leaving me the possibility of laughing and remaining silent. What a beautiful, beautiful love letter.
It's amazing. Going back to my father, he said, every single person we know has made us who we are today. And we have to be in gratitude for everyone. The good, the bad, the dirty, the dark, the light, the joy. Because all of these people, we have to be so thankful and so grateful because they have made us who we are today. But when you remain in the moment, like he says, there's no coming and going. See, when you're in the totality, in the present moment, there is no past and there is no future. So you cannot come and you cannot go because you just are. So when people say, do you remember me? Remembrance comes from the mind. But Osho is beyond the mind. He is within the being of the heart of the soul. So does he remember you? Yes. Does he remember you? No. Because you were an energy that flowed through his life. So as much as he tries to forget who you are, remember who you are, it will always exist as it should be in its truth. Because, like he says, or like breath, whether I deliberately breathe or not, the breathing continues. It is such a natural thing.
Yeah.
When you are in your true essence of being, the whole universe will disclose itself to you like a masterpiece without you even trying or doing or becoming. It'll be so organic, like the breath, that it'll just be there. You don't need any mind. There's no mind for me. Like when I walk through your door right now, I don't need to remember, oh, this is Stephanie. This is Stephanie. Your body already knows this. Energy already knows this. And when he says this comment of, but you've asked me in writing, not leaving me the possibility of laughing or remaining silent. When you ask something in writing, the form of expression of the totality of the truth of the energy, well, it's in writing, so it's so different. How can he give you what can't be expressed except through the natural course of the vessel, which would be in that moment? I'll read you one, okay?
Okay.
Oh, this one is for you.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
A barber from Baghdad was in great difficulty. Everybody visiting his shop would talk of a beautiful princess whom a magician had imprisoned in a castle. He heard that whoever succeeded in freeing the princess would not only win her hand, but also inherit her entire kingdom. Yet freeing the princess had proved to be an extremely difficult task. The castle was located deep inside a dense forest. 99 out of 100 liberators had been devoured by wild animals. The castle was situated high on a mountain, and 99 out of 100 who had survived the wild animals had died from being crushed beneath the rocks that demons had rolled down the mountainside. And then those who had managed to survive the demons had been burned to ashes when a fire had suddenly flared up just as they went through the castle door. A few lucky ones had crossed the forest. A few of them had even gone past the demons, but so far no one had succeeded in going through the door. Finally, the barber could endure it no longer. For isn't there a limit to a man's patience? He sold everything he had and set off in search of the beautiful princess. But to his surprise, he did not come across any wild animals in the forest. He gave thanks and went on ahead. And amazingly, the demons used to roll the rocks down the mountainside were nowhere to be seen. Filled with hope and longing, he began to run quickly toward the castle. He passed through the doorway, and amazingly, no fire flared up. Bowing his head, he began to give thanks again and again. Right in front of him stood the throne, and on that throne sat the princess he had heard the stories about since his childhood. Fearfully he went forward, but then the castle began to resound with laughter, and a voice said, "Now don't be afraid, because what is there to find now, anyway?" He was standing right in front of the throne, but there was no beautiful young woman sitting there. Instead, there was an old woman, and she was dead. He had completely forgotten that he had been listening to that story for at least 60 years. These stories rerun through our heads of things that we're going to go and do and accomplish and all of that. There is no time except for the present. There's no future, there's no past. But sometimes when we conquer our fears and we get over things, we realize things weren't even as they were supposed to be. Like we set out all these ideas. If I do this and go here, this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Someone told me this story. If I turn right here, the car's going to hit me here and someone's going to slam on the brake. If I go and buy that at the grocery store on Thursday, it's going to be cheaper. There's all these stories on top of stories on top of stories that we're feeding ourselves. And then when we get to the present moment, it's not even what we've been told or what we thought it would be.
Yeah.
This has been calculating so many ideas.
Story of my life. Yeah. I mean, this letter really resonates for me in like many ways. It's that monkey mind that we talk about and creating the stories that do not exist but only exist in their own worlds, which prevent us from moving forward. Okay, so another thing that came to mind, we talked about fear. I feel that one of the major themes that reminded me of something that I hold near and dear while I'm navigating through my life and through times is that everything for you will be there. So when this character was experiencing no adversities, even though he was hearing that everyone else was, it reminded me that like whatever is supposed to open up to you will, and those opportunities will come, even if you miss them. And you only get closer to those opportunities faster if you get over your fears. So it was this is a beautiful message.
Yeah, well, I told you you're the princess.
And he had so much gratitude too. Like you gotta be grateful in these moments.
So true.
I love it.
Gratitude. Yeah, gratitude is the.
That's my dog.
He has a lot of fear
he's
and a lot of dominance.
He has a lot of dominance. He's 5 pounds. He can take on any of your dogs.
Is that coming from fear or is that coming from truth?
I'm not certain actually.
Yeah.
Alright. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, you're right. You know, listen to this line. Bowing his head, he began to give thanks again and again and again. I think in life we miss out so much because we're so scared to go outside of our own boxes. Like, do you remember when COVID first came? And remember, Stephanie, I was saying to you, I was going through financial struggles and difficulty, and then I had a whole herd of raccoon babies that I was taking care of. Yeah, I take in raccoons. And me and Stephanie were talking about this because there was a lot of uncertainty with my career and all these types of things. And my father kept just saying, surrender, trust to the divine. What's meant for you is meant for you, will come your way. Camillia, you've lived 40-something years in your life being taken care of. Why wouldn't you trust that you'll be taken care of now? And that's when all of a sudden, out of the blue, I found out that a TV series for Disney that I was working on got picked up, and all of a sudden I was working. So from being on this line of fear of where's the money gonna come, what was I gonna do? But you know, my father started teaching me all these amazing meditation techniques that slowly started letting go of my fears of holding on to money. Where's it gonna come from, and how am I gonna do this, and all these types of things. And it just came. And like you were saying, Stephanie, I think when we just give ourselves surrender to the totality of the universe in our truth, what's meant for us will find us no matter what. You can push and you can push and you can, you know, chisel and chisel. If it's not meant for you, it's not yours.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
I love that.
And this is the thing too. We're always searching for this beautiful, rich princess. So we're always looking for something beyond beauty.
On the other
side, right? Beauty, riches, all these amazing things. But inside that beautiful castle, there wasn't something that was alive there. It was dead. It was old. It was gone. So sometimes we make all these stories up in our head, embellish all these things of these desires that one thinks is outside of themselves, and when you come inside the inner world, you come to see what was shown, what was told, what was mirrored is not the truth.
These are great stories. I think we should dive into more of them in future.
Oh yes, I would love to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thanks, Osho.